crossed we have resolved the issue. That's not a good start. Fingers crossed we have resolved the issue that we were having. I soak test the save files. And the error didn't seem to be continuous, so I saved it, loaded it back in, left it for an hour, came back in, ran it some more, seems to be okay, so fingers crossed. Right, so this does mean that we've had a couple of... I really wish it was right mouse button to spin the camera. So we have been having some issues, which may be just the mod. I did hit multiplayer load, didn't I? I guess I'll find out when other people come along in a moment. I don't recall where we were at, what we were doing, but we've had... It's been running for a couple of hours, so... and it also crossed my mind earlier that... Isn't this just... Yeah, so we can already make these. We just need to do that one and this one. Where is our researchy thing? And that's still whining about deuterium fuel. Yeah, so in theory then... In theory... Yes, I was wondering if we could maybe make our lives a bit easier on the multiplayer bit by starting to tidy up Dora World. And where's my iron? Oh dear. Yeah. But Dora may have actually tidied itself somewhat. Which is possibly not good. We are getting to the point... Actually, no, hold on. It should be still working. That's still running stuff. That should be still generating things. Ah, see, this is the problem with overdoing your storage like that. So, unfortunately, there was no tap. So what's happened here is Schalke set it up to go in and then out. But that's not a good idea, because this means that there is no guaranteed storage for moi. And moi wants some. So I always just grab off. So that means this will just fill up with, sometimes I just reduce it like that. So that means there will always be a certain amount available for me, but not too much. But yeah, this is now dead. But yeah, we probably need to start tidying it up, because probably when someone joins, this game's not designed with any networking in mind, so probably it'll be transmitting the entire storage area to everybody who joins. So sorting out, do we have any iron plates? We might do. Transportation. Can I make one? No, I need titanium. So we do have iron here, but this doesn't see. Unfortunately, people weren't very organised at making sure they've just set up. All right, yeah, someone set up another smelting system instead of feeding all this into the one I was just looking at. Yeah, this just goes into something completely different. That is iron, yeah. But let's see if I can find a tap here.
Huh.
Hello.
Which one of the myriad of games are you playing today then?
It's DSP today.
Actually playing it? Right, fine.
Yeah, seems working. I didn't disable dislikes. You can dislike my channel, but like, what did I do? What did I do so you're even trying to dislike it? Well, I have a dislike button. Are you... I can't tell. I mean, especially with the clown thing, are you having a go at me saying that I've turned something off? Because I ain't changed shit. We are beginning to really get to the point now where we need resources sent from other planets.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And then start to hook up to those. But I was saying, possibly beginning to tidy up Dora World would be sensible, because that might alleviate some of the load. Maybe.
Hello.
Hello.
I would be ready to join.
You are good to join.
I'll join. So, do we designate some stars to make certain products?
Well, not necessarily. So we've already got Hot Singles and Matty. They'll have iron. I can't look right now because obviously you're joining and it's decided to be slow. But we already have the planets. It just needs to happen. I was going to suggest we only send primary resources across, not primary and secondary. So we'd only send iron bars and iron circles, whatever they're called, magnets, across from each planet, and that should keep it quite simple and keep the number of things we want down.
I thought that Matti didn't have that much iron ore.
Right, but it's got more than... well, we've got 1.1 million left on Dora. Matty has got
1.6.
700,000 actually. Even less than that. But Hot Singles has got... Where's Hot Singles? There it is. Hot Singles has got 20 million. So yeah, Hot Singles is a better source planet for copper and iron. So that's copper ingots, iron ingots, magnets. Is there a primary craft for copper? Another one? There isn't, is there?
It says press to continue.
What says press to continue?
When Witchit loads on the title screen.
Are you in the wrong
It
channel?
says press.
Yeah.
You playing DSP?
Yes. Which it is Monday. I've stuck it down for. Oh, possibly tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll try it out. See if I'm keeping it.
Well, Esmia and Blood Rose also appear to be playing it.
It just amused me that it says press to continue, but like I'm pressing the screen and it's not doing anything.
That's when it's mobile games where they don't bother and it says, touch to continue. I've seen that before.
Yeah, or just tap.
Okay, planetary logistics and some research. The only reason I went and did any of this is because I realised that I can't do any more. We can, with the application of research, actually craft white blocks. We don't need any further anything. We just need plenty of research. And that's good. And that's our final set of researches done. Oh, okay. I've just messed it up. You can't do everything. I have to say, with Live for Speed, I am actually rather enjoying the large variety of cars. That smart car was great last night. Like, it was really, really good to drive. Some of the others, not so much. But pity about the Volkswagen camper van just disappearing. I don't know whether it's possible I was doing something stupid, but I don't think so. Right. Well, let's just start researching that one, just so everything is moving. No, bad game.
What's it doing?
No, I just did a bad conveyor belt. I mean, it's my fault, but I was going to shout at the game anyway.
Ah.
Oh, this doesn't use up any purple research. Okay. Yeah, Mike. So I think I fixed the issue that we were having. So, fingers crossed, I have. Well, I think.
Did you identify what the issue was?
No, but I wasn't sure whether or not it was a permanent issue or a temporary issue. So what I did is I ran the game, and I got the error, and I ignored the error. You know, I dismissed the error, and then I saved it onto a new save and loaded it back in. But I left it soaking for like 3 hours, so to see whether or not the error would just come back every minute or whether or not it's just once. I think it was just a screw up with a single planetary transporter. There was a bug with it, and that's just it. I don't think it's anything to do with the mod. I think it was just a DSP 0.8 bug. And hopefully it does not come back. Okay, so I was going to... Okay, so Dirac inversion mechanism. Now, I don't know what this is. This is something. There's a new button to store the energy of stars as antimatter. The descriptions stop being useful at about this point in the game, I think.
Did you want me to try and join?
Yeah, go for it. I said one of the things I want.
I just now realized that my microphone was not configured appropriately.
Ah, yes. Are they all ignoring me? What have I done?
But you correctly waited for response instead of just yelling and jumping in.
But yeah, I will try and condense. We do have plenty of iron on Dora World at the moment, so I will try and condense a bunch of that down to. Wait, do we make it in the lab? Made in research facility. Okay, cool. Yeah, I will try and. Oh, yeah, green, and no green is coming. No green is coming because we have. Alright. Because someone is stealing all of them, right? Yeah, Chaka, what are you thinking here? You've tapped off every single one for warpers, so cancelling that. That's not how it works. You can't have all of them. You have to have some of them. You even slowed the belt down to make sure you got all of them. So your warpers are offline until further notice because you've just run out of green cubes. Why is this so... we are not producing graviton lenses anywhere near close enough. Close enough, fast enough.
Able for me to join?
It is safe to join, yes.
Joining.
What I'll do there is I'll hook up the output of... Oh, hold on. Is all of that all going to... magnets? Yeah. So I'm going to tap... Oh, shit. So I want... Because the bit over here is not expecting raw. That's bars. Let me try. Let me get to. Oh, I fixed the music issue, by the way. I'm just playing the Kerbal Space Program soundtrack in the background, and now the music's great in this game.
Huh.
Yes, I complained to the admins about that skid day, that it's too far north, and they said that they were too far south. And they said they were looking for some up north, but they couldn't find any. So I suggested Silverstone, Bedford, Alton's got one as well. So hopefully they can find one.
Try your local police force, see if you can use theirs, and under the guise of, I don't know, showing off your Tesla or something.
Oh, did they actually hire them out? Because obviously you don't use
Doubt
them.
it, but
You'd only
if you
use
don't
them
ask, you'll never find
2
it.
days a year, wouldn't you?
I don't know how much they get used.
That's not the worst idea I've ever heard. I wonder what it is.
Hot Singles is running low on silicon.
For what, really? Actually running low on
Yep.
silicon?
So we've got 58,000 left.
On the whole planet?
Yep.
Well, that's about to become a major issue. I guess Matty has got a lot, though. Yeah, Matty's got 11 million, so that's fine. Matty can start sending it to us instead of Hot Singles. What have I done wrong here? Ah. Ah.
There might be a lot of silicon stores on Matty.
I mean, maybe. But running out is a good time to make sure we actually have it sorted, because running out of silicon would be bad. I wish there was an upgrade to the wireless power tower, though. Ah, yes, this music here. This is what I believe should be played by SpaceX on their streams. Called Exploring Space. It's royalty free as well, so they have no excuse not to.
Right, I'm about to transfer to Matty.
Okay. I do wish the game stored the last time something had travelled along a conveyor belt and what it was. So I'm seeing something like, oh,
Yeah.
wonder what this is. This is just an irregular thing, or is this a broken thing? And, you know, what did it used to be? Checks 4 hours ago. Okay, so I have reconnected...
Landing, Matty.
I've reconnected raw iron back to the old iron input. So we could just send raw iron. That is a possibility. Because we could just send copper, titanium, silicon, and the other one. Or we could smelt all on one planet and then deal with it on another.
We have Matty willing to send a lot of silicon, high purity silicon slabs.
Yes, please. That would be good.
It's ready.
Goodbye,
So
Mike. See you again. Yeah, well, send it.
should I be transferring that to hot singles for the motors, not motors, circuits? Or we're gonna
Circuits don't use silicon, do they?
processors, sorry.
For the microcrystalline components, it needs to be well. It doesn't matter if you just run them into a interstellar transport. You don't need to engage your brain any further than that, really.
Yeah. Well, we have one with a 10,000 in, so it's not being taken anywhere right now.
Yeah. Oh, you have an interstellar transport with.
No, is that interstellar? Is that planetary? Yeah, interstellar logistics.
It's
already set up.
Does it have plenty of spaceships?
It has no logistics. Hang on. 2 vessels and no space warpers. So we could probably do some more, I guess. Then.
No, it doesn't need any space warpers. We're out of space warpers anyway because unfortunately Schalke decided to nick our entire supply of research. No, strong, stable, economic base. Why has this got gaps in it?
Esmia's chickening out on trying to connect because she doesn't want to lock you up.
Well, I can just say that. The thing is, if you tell me, that's fine. AA, lockdown, temp save. There you go. I've saved. If you lock us up, we don't lose anything.
All right.
Yeah, yellow.
Joining now.
Yellow production of cubes is also pathetic as well. So our research is struggling. Blue isn't very good. Oh, blue and red are all right. Green is dead. Purple is asleep. Yellow is asleep. So we don't unfortunately get to stop, relax on our laurels with cube production. But yeah, it did cross my mind. Oh, there we go. Yeah, you timed out, I guess. Yeah, player disconnected.
Yep. Oh well.
Well, that's
give it a shot.
Well, that's why. Well, hopefully they fix it in the next patch, and that's why I would like to progress towards tidying up Dora to a degree. So Dora is eventually just pure cubes. Ah, thank you, Schalke. I can't change it, and it says we're offline. Is it working now? It might be working now. Dyson. Thank you. Right. Multiplayer. Load. And save. But yeah, I have a funny feeling what's happened is we've just pushed it over the edge of coping with Esmia's internet connection. Because there's just too much on this planet. So less on this planet is a plan. Because I suspect when you join, it had to send you all the state of all of the storage hoppers, and I bet you, because they have no reason to, I bet you it doesn't compress the hopper, because there's no point in doing that in a single player game. But in network, like Fortresscraft will say, is this an empty hopper? Yes, no, and it takes 1 byte to do so.
Requesting clearance to join.
Please go for it, Shark.
Joining.
I actually went to the opticians today, and they said, "Oh, how are you doing?" And I'm like, "Fine," but I'm beginning to struggle with my glasses on, looking at close by things, and they're like, "Oh, you want buy varifocals?" I'm like, "Yeah, in 10 years I might, but not now."
Requesting clearance to join.
Yep, good for Henry to
Successfully
join.
joined.
Yeah, on my single player games, I use maybe 50 to 100 storage things total.
Yeah, but it depends whether or not the mod compresses down the transmission of that or doesn't bother, because
No, I think the problem is that the mod uses TCP only.
yeah, which is why you reduce your data overheads. Absolutely, but I mean,
Well, it's timing out because TCP requires it's packet strict.
Yeah, but the TCP timeout by default is an insane number. Yes, 300 seconds is the default TCP timeout, and I doubt you've got more than 300 seconds of latency. So it should work, but it just as we throw more and more and more at it, it will begin to break. But you're not being kicked out because you've timed out. It's not TCP timeout. It's something else causing it. I mean, that's a bug on their part, but it's probably caused in no small part by the sheer amount of stuff we've got going on here.
Okay, my first round of Witch It went quite well. I was a witch and I ran over to some stalls and became a stall and fell over. And then the hunters were released, so I didn't feel like I had time to put myself the right way up because I'd be moving. Some hunter then came and spammed everything around me with potatoes, knocking it over, at which point I just looked like something had already been knocked over. They then ran the clock down, failing to spot me in plain sight.
I didn't realise the game was quite so much like Prop Hunt.
Yeah, it seems quite straightforward, but fun. Unless it gets boring hiding, I'm just waiting for the whole round.
Well, we shall have to see. What are you waiting for? Graphite and hydrogen. Wait, how are you in? Oh, it's crappy old lines. This happens quite a lot. Like, I look at something and it looks broken. It's just because we're still feeding it with very low level lines and very low level logistics things too.
Brilliant. So Witcher's won. I got the highest score, so therefore I totally won the whole game. And then I got kicked for being idle. You have been removed from the game due to inactivity. I was fucking hiding.
What? It's a... What? Why would... What?
Yeah, exactly that. My strategy was to not move, which worked, and I got the highest score in the game. I got to the scoreboard, and I got kicked because I was taking a bite of my pizza and not clicking OK.
Yeah, too many games though design choke points in the thing that require people to pay attention. I mean, I said this before, the host should be able to go, we're going now, if you're not ready, that's on you. If you've gone to the loo, the round's about to start, that's your problem, and that should be how games work, but very few seem to. Or too few seem to.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. It's just that it didn't seem to start a new idle timer once the game had started. It seemed to be because I'd not interacted for the last 2 minutes or whatever, most of which was in-game.
Even so, it's a prop hunt game. It's hide and seek. You didn't move during hide and seek, well, we're going to kick you. That's not how hide and seek works.
I'm gonna hop out to play some CNET.
Okay.
Have fun.
We will.
Yeah.
It's got its hooks into you, eh? Yeah, I don't think it would. Oh, so it's got its hooks into you, which is good. I'm going to play a bit later as well.
Yeah,
Excellent.
I've been exploring, and they definitely thought of explorers. There's a lot of secret things hidden throughout the world. It's good stuff.
It's going to be good in a party. I've got a few people to buy it as well, so once we can get on the same shard, we'll be doing having a guild or something.
Gotta get those referral bonuses.
I don't even know what that is. What does that do for you?
It's something you do in their Discord. I don't know. It gives you some gear set, something weird. But there's a current bug where
Heading for Matt.
you won't get it on any pre-existing characters, so you have to make new one to get the stuff. They're gonna fix it. But that's the current bug. That's just like, oh god. There's also apparently some stuff you can get if you not only attach Discord to your account, but if you bind it so that it's permanently bound to it. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, it's got most of the staple things from this type of game, hasn't it? I mean,
There's also a login bug where if you have Discord linked to your account, you can't log in.
oh jeez. Well, I resisted the urge to link everything to it.
Because I didn't want to not be able to log in.
Yeah, I see they've got a login system where you can link all your stuff to it. I got it on PlayStation, Steam, and Quest, but I haven't linked Discord.
Yes.
Maybe I should.
Don't link Discord. Not yet. Not until they fix that bug.
Okay. Thanks for the heads up.
Keeping Discord unlinked should prevent most of the problems. It's been fun.
Cool.
Anyways, I'm going to jump in. All right, have fun.
Do we have any opinion if we should be sending primary or secondary resources then? Primary is marginally easier to hook up, but only very slightly.
I suspect that the bandwidth is going to be a problem, so any upgrade would help with that.
Well, no, unfortunately, an iron plate is one iron, is one steel. You know what I mean? One iron bar ingot is one iron. But I also suspect we should start considering downsizing some of our production. I mean, for instance, there's probably about 25,000 conveyor belts here that are in tier 1 and haven't been upcrafted to 2. So it's probably quite a lot of stuffs. But yeah, so who's on getting stuff to Dora World then?
Kind of.
Kind of. So you're sorting out silicon.
Well, in theory, silicon should be coming through. It's just the silicon, the fairly base one, or able to come through.
Yeah.
Don't know if we want to put any onto hot singles because there's a lot of processing there, but there's still a lot of processing here as well. But it's not exactly going into space to be taken out.
Yeah. And that's important. Everything needs to be going to space. That is.
Yeah.
That is critical. What are we out of on research? I think we're at green. What are you doing, Shaka, anyway? Because I feel I don't know what you're doing. I feel you may be flailing around without looking at the bigger picture. Tell me.
I'm checking on Matti. It's fine before I go to the other stars.
Right, we can't go to the other stars because we no longer have any warpers. So that is what I mean about bigger picture. It's pointless spending any time. We need gravitons, souped up lots. We're getting through all of them without any issue.
I did recently boost it by upping the deuterium production quite a lot.
Well, that means I could have 2 labs making it then, rather than the 1. Like we're really not making a lot of greens, and greens seem to be more of a currency for endgame than the previous things, as far as I can see. Where are the little I feel that we don't really have as strong a position at the minute as we could, because we're beginning to run out of resources, and we're going to need to have that sorted out, or production will just stop. And we're not at a point where we can reliably send stuff from another galaxy unless you start making another star system, unless you start making warpers at that end. One thing you can... Oh, no, hold on. I'm thinking about the new gatherers. There's no way... It's a shame we can't tell a machine to go slow. There's no way to do that, is there? Which is a shame.
Yeah.
You can use long inserters, like restrict the inputs to have some of that sort of effect.
Let me try that. It's the longest we can get away with. Let's try that. Yeah, long, slow one might be a good. So I don't want to not use warpers. It's just that that's why we're not doing any research. That's why we're researching at 1, 2, 3, because all of the greens disappeared into warpers. Yeah, but how do we limit its input? How do you? There's no rate limiting of anything. So that's now rate limited. 2. 1, 2. It's still 2. It's still 1 every 2. So actually, why am I counting? There's a machine for this. One of my favourite machines as well. Although it seems to be impossible for me to work out which way round they should be. How did I get them wrong both times? So they should be like little tanks pointing to the left. Thank you. And no. Yeah, I'm afraid that's not working. Oh, no, 60, 70. Yeah, okay, so we're making 90 greens a minute and then taking away 30... a minute. What's the name of them? Warpers. So yeah, I guess I could think this is getting clunky. Because then I can do this, you see, which will then rate limit it again. And then break it there. And then do that. Which reduces it to... Oh, no, that won't limit it, will it? No, that's making it take longer, but it's not rate limiting. I think it's rate limiting it at all. Yeah, there's 70 on there, so it is making them quicker than it can offload it. That's about all I can do. Like, so that thing there is rate limiting it, so these ones do nothing. These are just duplicate. They're delays, not limits. But if Shaka reckons he's increased the gravitons, I will make more than one lab, because obviously one lab is not enough. How many can we have now? 1, 2, 3,
I'm now switching to have Matti be tapped with all of the resources.
Wait, did I count to 10? Badly. Wow. Well, in theory, then, if I increase the number of greens we're making, that will not increase the number of warpers. That should stay the same because that is at a limit. So in the next patch, you can make the nicer gatherers, and they do have rate limiting. But that lets you limit the rate at which you gather resources. Doesn't let you limit the rate at which you transport resources. I guess would be a slightly odd thing to do. Where am I supposed to be standing? One more? One more. Yeah, we are completely out of gravitons. Are they even made on this planet?
No.
Was that a yes or a no?
Yes, there's a graviton factory
So you went
near
near.
deuterium production.
You said sort of yes and no as one word, and I'm like, I don't know if that's a yes or a no. Well, it might need to be scaled up. Yeah, we're now down to 10 cubes a minute. So, yeah, okay, there we go. Let me measure. This is what I mean about, I really want to have a roster of everything transported, and it's weird that it focuses so hard on production and not transport. But I guess if we can assume we're transporting all of the gravitons, why is there no search in this thing? And I can favourite stuff. I don't want to favourite it, I want to search it. Oh, wow, my options don't include alphabetical. Yeah, we're making 10 a minute apparently, but we're consuming 23 a minute. But yeah, there's no way I can click on this and click on that and have it show me where it sends from. And as you get more and more planets, I think you will struggle more and more and more to keep up with what's going on. I think we're at microprocessors as well, but every time I say this, a massive run of them arrive from space.
We're getting a load from... hang on, what's that? Oh, there's no power there. Hot singles, but I think that's about to run out of silicon, so I might go back there and bring in some silicon into that manufacturing base.
Yeah. That's cool. I mean, we're currently
Make
not...
sure that they can receive silicon.
And we are currently generating no solar sails because we're out of graphite. Oh, that's a mildly terrifying thing. Especially because graphite was the last thing as me and I fucked with at the end of the last stream.
Moving to hot singles.
Graphite should be being made over here in near infinite quantities, though. And then goes down here.
Arriving at hot singles.
So that's about 9 seconds. And that then goes into here for transport across the world. That's cool, but where on earth did our previous... Oh, it's just been disconnected. Well, that would do it. Assume we didn't disconnect solar cells on purpose. As I said before, apart from the wee numbers, I wish the game had more reason to keep on making more and more power. You know, transmuting elements, or I don't know, something.
Yeah.
There is the sprays coming on the next thing.
The what? Oh, they're a nothing. I've already played them in single player. They're nothing. They're so easy to use. They require sod all power, and they just require lots of coal. So we will just make a shit ton of them on Dora World, because that's where the coal is. But they're quite cool. But yeah, it's not massively exciting, really, I'm afraid. So if I do the next research, Universe Matrix, when complete, we can start generating white cubes. And white cubes is interesting because that gives us access to a few infinite upgrades. So that's cool. Including our energy, the recovery speed of our stuff, drone speed, and is that it? A vein utilization as well. So I don't know how low that goes because it says 6% reduction. But that's my progress, is to push towards white and then start to push hard on some of the efficiency infinite researches. You give me a clue where gravitons come from, Schalke, so I can see if I can...
The Deuterium production is somewhat north from rocket launch.
Ah, area, I think it's over there. Oh, it's south of the deuterium production. Ah, hold on. Oh, do we just have a single thing making gravitons?
Yeah, and I think it's limited by strange matter.
No. It's, for a start, it's not, I mean, let me just upgrade the assembling machine. That's the easiest, that's the easiest first solution. We are not making enough strange matter because we don't have enough deuterium, of all things. Really? Oh, the only reason we don't have enough deuterium is you used a level 1 sorter, and it's, oh no, it's level 2, but it's just too far away. It's just literally too long a distance. And then we have, yeah, we've got, I keep finding Mark 1 belts all over the shop. There we go, it's now Mark 3, and the deuterium problem has been solved. So we had 2 belts collapsing into 1, but this one was only a orange belt. I don't know if we're actually going to be able to outrun this forever. Because unfortunately no one popped an inline storage on. But we'll see. I do wish there was a way to edit an existing conveyor. I want to pause a conveyor belt. So I want to edit an existing conveyor belt with ending up with 1 deuterium in my inventory. Or 5. I don't think there's a way to. There we go. So if we backlog now, we will actually just fill up this storage tank. Which hopefully we are. I don't think we're actually using all of this deuterium. Oh, wait, hold on. Deuterium then goes down into a storage hopper, which then goes round, and we use it for lots and lots. Okay, yeah, we're definitely not making enough deuterium, and I don't think we could make enough deuterium. Right, what's slowing it down? My crappy sorters. Come on. No. What is it? It's telling me I don't have. I've got all of these. There we go. Click in the wrong place. Right, there we go. I've upgraded the sorters as well. Anything I can do to speed these up. The accelerates, by the way, are awesome for just focusing on speeding up a little part of your network. They're really, really good. Like here, there's not much I can actually do to speed this up. This is just fundamentally, we need a lot. We've got plenty of hydrogen. We don't have enough particle gliders, really. Eventually we'll run out of room. Right, so I can decipher this. So we are... we still at about 60% spare generation. But now we're not backlogging. Might be alright. Because right now we're not even launching any spaceships, I don't think, because we don't have any more design to do. Yeah, in fact we're not. I don't think we're launching anything at all. I'll check we haven't got a lot of... yeah. Oh. Maybe we are. We don't have any spaceships in storage. Okay, no, we are launching. No, I take it back. We are going. I think it was just because we didn't have any deuterium. I didn't see any spaceships in space. We are also short on plane filters because we're short on...
Golden Waterfall has manual export of plane filters.
I just think we're not quite making enough. Yeah, we're not making enough Casimir crystals. We're not making enough Casimir crystals because we are running low on titanium crystals. We're running low on titanium crystals. We're running low on organic crystals, and we're running low on organic crystals because we're running low on plastic. And I think we all know why we're running low on plastic.
Because we have heat decoil.
Thankfully not, but basically yes. Man, I worried about peak oil so much as a child. Just, it was like some people worried about, yeah, and quicksand, they're being set on fire, and people and strangers giving me drugs. I worried about this a lot. So far, no, it's been a problem. More power. We've got loads of power. It's just, unfortunately, I am now a mechanic with a 35-year-old car running around trying to keep it all going. That's why I'm not really doing an awful lot. I'm trying to feed back to Henry and Xiaoka which bits are currently breaking, because we are getting to the point where we need to, as I said, start sending stuff here because we are literally running out. Copper is very low on Dora. Iron has a bit left. Stone's fine. Coal's fine. Crude oil's fine. But any time that we can swap out a crafting on this planet for crafting on another planet is a good one. I have no idea which way these are going. I just go across. Yeah, you mentioned power death spirals earlier, and if you've seen the size of our Dyson Sphere, like, that's really not an issue. If we have a death spiral, the worst thing we have to do is go and handcraft some more ray collectors, and they're really not very expensive. I got one nearby. Can I craft one? Just on top of my head. No. Oh, those are going this way. Okay. Also, wish there was a way to make conveyor belts facing the other direction. What? These are facing outwards. Oh, they're just moving too quickly. So that's an in. Oh, is this just an injection rather than... Because these are going this way. These are going that way. What I need to do is go across there to here. And... just try to make a bit more room for a oil plant here.
There's also organic crystal source on Golden Waterfall.
Yes. Yeah, so at some point, reducing anything that needs oil for its rare interstellar equivalent would be a great idea. Oil is a... Well, quite correctly, the game has got it correct. Oil is a non-renewable nightmare. I did see someone actually try and tell me that oil is renewable. It's being created all the time. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's technically true. Technically, we are creating new oil all the time, but only at a rate of about 1/1,000,000th of what man is using it at. But sure, well done on being technically correct.
Best kind of correct.
Not if you're running a business. How can we send oil? That's plastic off. That's... Doesn't help that so little of this is moving right now. Not sure why. Oh, it's sulfuric acid. That's refined oil out. I have to give Esme full marks for spreading out, and then take them all away for not spreading out enough. Ah, here we go. As anyone who has played, well, any of these games will know, however much you spread out, that is not enough.
I have helped copper ore export from Matti.
Ore. Okay.
Do you want ignites?
In that case, hang on, let me just check. I believe there's no use for ore, is there? Ore only has one use, and that is copper ingots. So no, I don't think that's a good idea. With iron, just check it. Yeah, there's only one thing we ever craft with copper, and that is always copper ingots. So if you could send ingots, that means we just move a bunch of processing off that planet.
Yeah, I'm doing the ignites.
I also wish they changed the collide with other object message to tell you what fucking object it thinks you're colliding with. Ray receivers are 150 megawatts, I believe. I don't have any around.
I don't know whether Dora World can receive these copper ingots.
It doesn't matter. If it can't at the minute, it will. Well, the important thing is that copper ingots are available on the interstellar network. That's the important thing.
Yeah.
Then at any point in the future, we can just tap into it. Again, I'd like to see the availability of the interstellar network, but there's no way we can do that. Yeah, within this system, what have I got available? Interstellar, what do I have available? Etc. etc. Trying to get to there. I'm trying not to learn from the Schalke school of conveyor belts, but getting trickier as we're running out of room. Right, now I should get to here. Very tempted to run the crude oil. Actually, if... No, that's not a good idea. I'm assuming there are planets that are absolutely just swimming in crude oil as well.
I kind of started to tap into one system. Like that.
Do you know how much it had?
No, but I can look it up. Or can I?
Yes, I believe in you.
I have visited the planet, but I can't figure out how to configure the map to show view. Okay.
See, I wonder what that conveyor belt used to be. It used to supply... Oh, it used to supply... Oh, that's a bit worrying. That should be supplying... oh, we're out of quantum chips. That means we might actually be out of microprocessors then. And that comes from hot singles. Do we have...
There should be some more coming.
There are 280 in transit. Huh? She's up here. She's looking for moths. No, Dora, so it'll be summer, and there'll be wasps and bees and all sorts of other things you're forbidden from playing with. Trying to get to there. Well, I would like to see this game have support for turning, let's say, stone in enormously inefficient ratios into something else, and then I'd like to see you start shrinking planets, like ultimate in game.
10 ratio of 10 to 1 is not bad enough.
No, like 1,000 to 1 or 10,000 to 1, and then you start literally tearing holes in the planet. Unfortunately, they actually have quite a simple surface render, so I don't think it's going to happen, but that would be so cool. Like, I mean, actually strip mining the planet, so there is no more planet.
I would like to see that in the other direction, that you could build metal worlds.
What would be the point in that, apart from, look at me, I've made Coruscant?
Lasers. Maybe like beaming energy from system to system. From metal worlds.
But why does it... What advantage is it making a metal world, though? Was it just so you can pretend you've made Starkiller Base?
Well, mainly for the cool graphics.
That's fine.
And to have a mega project that you can walk on. That would be one also.
No, I mean, this is something I've said to people before. I ask people sometimes why they want to do something in a game. Like I was asking Ismir why she wanted an outpost. And because I want to make a cool outpost is a perfectly valid answer. And people seem to forget that. Sometimes you just the only answer is there's no point to it, I just want to do cool things. Oh, are all planets the same size? I did not know that. Well, I'll make a note. I said I have fiddled around with a couple of different logistics games. As I said, I've been around with lots of little projects. I said it's about September. I will be back on the Fortress Craft nearly full time. At the minute, I am still messing around with different projects and seeing what grips me. So I was looking at a one where I wanted a couple of things. I wanted it so when you mined the ground, you got 1 copper and 10 dirt. And you had to do something with the dirt. So you would have had enormous mountains of the crap you get when you're mining. If you ever looked at a mining setup, it's about 95% dealing with crap. We also need a lot more railguns, by the way. I don't know what the estimate is for finishing our... Oh, actually, no, hold on, maybe No, we do need more railguns. And spaceships. Oh, I know, I believe you. That makes sense. There are certain assumptions they've obviously made. Oh yes, I remember why we were lacking spaceships. It all boiled down to we ran out of oil. So hopefully now we're going to start to come back online a bit. Well, we are beginning to use interstellar logistics towers, but that's why I keep saying to Henry and Schalke, hey, we're lacking, hey, we're out of... So we can start to get that happening. And as I said, hopefully begin to simplify Dora World a bit. So somewhere on another planet, some other planet somewhere that has organic crystals which I think organic crystals can only spawn on planets without titanium. So you can never hacks it and create titanium crystals like that. You've always got to go via the slightly awkward route. Okay, so we're still lacking plastic. Is it just because the oil hasn't made it through? Refined oil is now our limit. Refined oil made. Wait, really? Oh, shit. Shit. Wait, hold on. Why did I mess up then? That's fine, that's where I hooked in. But we've got refined oil, crude. I mean, let me just grab all the crude oil out a sec, because I can at least burn it. Do we have any more coming down the line?
What's the number on the side of traffic monitor mean? Is that per minute? Yeah,
per minute,
per minute.
Yeah. And you can set the accuracy of it as well with the little slider.
Yeah, currently making 260 circuits per processors a minute.
Oh, good. That's probably enough. Well, maybe. I'm just going to go and grab a drink, by the way. You guys can just watch the... Oh, look at it. So when a spaceship arrives and it turns on a new bit, look at all of the solar sails all turning into the other thing. Absolutely glorious. But I'd like to point out that our space graffiti is not in the slightest bit legible, so we must do harder. Back in the back. We must try harder. I have to say, from a technical point of view, one of the few things this game does badly is slowly being resolved. Is in the next patch they're adding in a new tier of ore gatherers, which is good because you can use one ore gatherer rather than 4 little ones, and that means that the load on rendering, simulation, network, disk space, all of that goes down by a factor of 4. Like one visually large machine is better off than 10 visually small machines.
Yeah, the mini game of trying to fit the small miners to cover a lot of veins, that phases out very fast.
Yeah.
That is not the most interesting bit.
I mean, it's made it the right way here. She just covered the whole thing and then just walked away and left it. I think it was Esmea. So, we are stuck on green at gas. We are stuck on green. Green is backed up. So we really could do with this research done. And then we could begin white research, and some of the white research, as I said, is infinite research. Ooh. And one of those infinite researches is vein efficiency, which I'm curious to see if that's diminishing returns or what. Right. Yeah, but Degershot, my point is they're not doing enough of this. That's the first thing I've seen they're doing it. They need to do it a lot. It is efficient. It means you can tech upwards. It's a good thing for them to implement, and they need to do more of that.
Matti is now exporting titanium ore. And
Again,
oldly
or it's not used for anything apart from ingots. And that is a 2-to-1 ratio. So I insist that you smelt the ore. That's an advantage. Copper and iron is not technically a space advantage. Silicon is, because it's a 2-to-1 ratio. But in that case, it's definitely going to be easier to smelt it there. I hope.
I have to tap a smelting station here.
Yay, thank you.
Hot Singles is also exporting titanium ingots.
Yes, it's been doing that for yonks, thankfully.
Yeah, so it's still a huge queue on it.
Oh, good. Well, that's good. We're not currently massively using titanium. It's...
High purity silicon is also being exported from Matti. But the ships are not busy, so I guess nobody's needing it on other planets.
Sorry, which is being done?
Silicon, high purity silicon.
I think that's just we're not using a lot of it at this second. We are using it on Dora World, definitely. It is all hooked up.
Mm. We're also using quite a bit to make processors on Hot Singles, which are then going straight into space. They're being consumed as fast as they're being produced.
Dego, have you ever seen people play Fortress Craft and they get really, really, really het up about the efficiency of their ore collection? And I keep telling them, look, get over it. There's nearly infinite ore in the world. Don't even worry about it. Don't even stress. And they still do. I don't like using materials to recharge my Icarus because that is not an infinite renewable resource. And yes, I know there is nearly infinite graphite in this game. It doesn't make me feel any better at wasting it on recharging my Icarus. So that's why I don't use things to recharge my Icarus. I prefer to recharge it off of Dyson Sphere. As I know you're right. That doesn't help me at all. Let me break that there. I'm just, it looks like we're now slightly producing more strange matter than we're using. So I will upgrade to a second ascending machine.
I'm gonna visit Golden Waterfall and fetch a load of plane filters.
Cool. Yeah, so our particle colliders are actually both fine, the ones making strange matter. Our biggest issue is a lack of space. Aren't even. If I bring this belt down as early as possible. Yeah, I agree. I would like... I think the satellite energy should have an upgrade or a version that supplies you with power.
Arriving to Ash.
Oh, that's cool. Wow, it's so quick when you join a planet that's not been heavily utilized. Up there's the day-night Terminator. You can see the conveyor belts, light turning on. I love that.
Nice. Yeah. We got any copper being exported? We might just export some.
I think Chakra's starting, but if you can export copper bars from
Hot singles.
Yeah, hot singles? Hot singles? Hot singles, yeah.
Oh,
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. That'd be great because we're not currently using them, but that will become a thing.
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah, I completely agree. There should be a higher tier recharging power. Yeah, it's my vote. So I was looking at creating more particle colliders. Is that our only source of deuterium? There's not a better one than this then? Because we now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 particle colliders, and we're just quite frankly not making enough deuterium still. I'd say not even close, but that's a little bit dramatic. I don't like of hydrogen. It's a bit of a horror with the way the hydrogen arrives, but we do have plenty. Can I actually make a particle collider or some? No, because I don't have any frames. That's easy enough. Right, here they are. Wow, we're actually full on frames. What was the other thing? Oh, supermagnetic rings. I don't think we're are we not making or sending supermagnetic rings anywhere across the network, are we?
Matti is exporting the blue coils. But the production might be a little so and so.
Yeah, but you might have like 50,000 of them just like stored up by now. That'd be quite cool to grab. I'll grab off a hopper's worth though, because that would be nice.
I think the storage is flat out because it had already been fed. But you check it out if you want to be sure.
I'll just request them. I request those rings and oops. No, no.
About 35 stacks of plane filters are ready at Golden Waterfall.
Oh, this is a planetary logistics station. Damn it.
And we could also use the Casimir crystals.
I won't say no to Casimir crystals. We're actually back up to full. Well, no, we're not. We're not at full production because we're not making enough organic. What should we call it? Yeah, looks like organic. What should we call it? Our limit. Even though we have plenty of plastic now. Oh no, plastic is struggling, so we don't have enough refined oil. Ah, but it looks like that is because we don't have a nice belt saucer. There we go. It's surprising how often that's the issue. It's just we're saturated on the sorters. Yeah, but more's always good. Interstellar logistics station. Here we go. This would actually be quite handy because this is. Where did those? I had some turbines around somewhere because I was going to grab them. Is this from request turbines now? Okay. Well, I'll just pop those here for a minute because it would be handy to have. Very handy to have on this planet because that's one of the quite a painful upcraft. So, local supply, remote demand. Eventually, I worked out their ridiculous convention. Something that I try hard not to forget as a game developer is there's a difference between intuitive and, as someone described to me, Minecraft's one of the most intuitive games. The crafting system is completely intuitive. Once you've learned it, it's intuitive. And I was like, that's not what intuitive means. In fact, that might be the... Oh, we have an interstellar logistics station with no spaceships. We're not crafting them anywhere, are we?
Not to my knowledge. We probably should be starting that.
Well...
Although, if you're prioritizing white science, we might be like skipping the actual interstellar network.
Well, I mean, I'm getting white science started. I wouldn't say I'm prioritizing it. I'm getting it. That's my goal right now, is getting white science going, because that gives us access to a bunch of fancy things. One of the things it doesn't give us, unfortunately, is faster. Oh, it does. Yeah, it gives us that. Gives us faster spaceships. So that's completely the right thing to do. Okay, I'm now about 10 or 15 tasks down from that. Because we needed graviton, and for that we needed deuterium, and for that we needed something, and then I needed something, and I needed something, and now I'm down to crafting spaceships, because we don't have any on this interplanetary logistics station, so it is unable to go and get me some supermagnetic rings. Excuse me. Oh yeah, no, all of the rendering is fine. So I do want to finish this ring at some point, the one in the middle. In fact, I'm quite surprised it hasn't. But oh, maybe. Oh, actually, probably I haven't. I did want to have a ring there. You see. Yes, because I got distracted with the lockdown thing. That will be a little ring in the middle, and we are very slowly. I say slowly. It's just insane. We're now up to 0.5 megawatt on our sail. Our limiting factor, ironically, appears to be our solar sail generation, but we're not using all our power. So it's kind of not encouraging me to say, hey, you should get off there and do it, because you're like, why? Like, I want to be, not forced is not the right term, but I want us to go, oh, we're out of power. Power is a fun thing to scale up to huge, huge numbers. So solar sails, but a lot of things we're doing here, it's like, I just need one thing at the beginning of a chain in order, so in some quite large period of time, go and get things. Shao Kahn, none of the spaceships have gone to go and get super magnetic rings. Have I done something wrong?
I think they are like very slowly being produced.
Right, but no one else.
As I tried to say it before.
No one else has requested them before, have they?
I think yeah, they have been used somewhere.
Oh.
I did also huge organic crystal collection into interstellar network that now has 30 warpers, and I'm going to bring full haul with me. I have about 50 stacks of organic crystals to bring back.
Well, in that case, what I'll do is I will request organic crystals. Local supply, remote demand. Because there is actually a interplanetary station. Oh, in transit 600, cool. Because we're definitely waiting on those. And it'd be nice to obviously get rid of our generation of organic crystals entirely. Obviously. Because that's oil based. And there's quite a long chain that sits in front of the organic crystals. Because they require plastic. And plastic requires... Oh, it requires plastic and oil, so it requires oil twice. That's slow. Oh no, we have quite a lot of oil seeps all sort of touching each other. Yeah, I'll cross some of these while I'm waiting. Yeah, I think there should be a logistics map of the thing with like in No Man's Sky, you know, when you get the little arc showing you the routes between trade stations and stuff, just like that. I also believe the spaceships don't show you what are in them unless they're full, which is annoying. That's the way the game saves. There we go. There are 5 objects littered in the world. Does anybody have a clue who or where?
Nope.
Don't think it's... I think it might be me, but if so, I don't know where it is.
Burn them.
I just want a button mark collect them all rather than destroy them all. I guess you got the issue there that people would use it as ways, as you guys did when we played Astroneer, because you guys didn't play Astroneer in the early game, where leaving stuff on the ground meant you lose it. It got blown away with storms. So people were just using the ground as a storage bin, which works for a while until you have thousands of physics objects all throughout the universe. Oh my word, with 1,200 more organic crystals in progress. I just wish I could destroy stuff easier, or macerate it for base resources, or something. Right, so that's back up. That means that Casimir crystals are... Why? What? Oh, there's one turbine on there, look. Thank you. So we're now back up to production on whatever the hell these are called. So all the surplus goes into research. Dora, what are you doing to my microphone? Why are you licking your lips? Okay, so now the titanium crystal is flat out. So that's good. It's not high enough to deal with the need that we have for our Casimir crystals. But I can extend it one more. There we go. Wait, what? What? Shift delete, delete some of that, drop them to the ground. That's handy to know. My issue is more like I would like to be able to recycle things a bunch more than I actually can.
Like disassembly type stuff.
Yeah. Even if it's you know, not very efficient, that would be good. Although really what I should actually do is get over there and create a temporary setup to upcraft conveyor belts in by just shoving in a whole bunch of turbines. I might just do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's semi-manual, but it's quicker than doing it in your inventory. A lot quicker. I also need to really get my arse and give it the amount of rail guns we've got firing too. I do a those. So unfortunately we don't have any turbines here. I would have already have done this. We do apparently have a storage hopper with coal and oil in it. Why would you do that?
There should be some on the interplanetary network.
Somewhat, sorry.
Oh, there should be some on the interplanetary network to request if you need some.
The turbines are, but they're all the way over there.
Yeah.
It would
right.
just would have been nice if we happened to have had them here. We just don't. Yeah, that's why I had so many in my inventory, because I just grabbed them off the network. You could put icons on conveyor belts. Sadly, not shared by the mod. But if I stick in, 600 turbines there, and go. But I should now. I'm now, as long as someone shoves in a bunch of turbines there, which I could just shove in a lot of turbines. That's good. It will then upcraft all of the Mark 1 conveyors to Mark 2s. It's probably good because hopefully then I can get rid of my inventory, because I'm carrying an awful lot of. Put it in there. Yeah, that won't jam up, will it? It might if I don't have one logistics. Put the logistics in.
Arriving at Dora World.
Just save it before you do that. Just saving it. But like here, earlier on in the game, Shackle thought it was a good idea to generate Tesla towers, which it was. At no point do we need. There's about 15,000 Tesla towers here. We are dealing with a game that actually has entropy, where there are a finite number of resources in the universe. I'm not still not sure why we're doing them, but we are. So it would be nice to turn those Tesla towers back into useful things. Oh, game just locked up, so I assume Shakra's arriving.
Yep.
Hello, cat. Yeah. Dora likes to run over my desk, but only if I don't pay her attention. If I pay her attention, she just gives me the most evil look. Like, what are you doing, Fokker? Touch me. Wow, this is a long load, Mr. Shauka. Oh, there we go. So I think this entire setup of... Oh, that's stone. Yeah, that could probably... Oh, it's nearly gone anyway. Oh, it has gone. Let's do that.
The plane filters are near rocket production.
Yes. Did you just shove them into the hopper? Yeah, there's a hopper there for it. Liu Anshin, the fractionator is a terrible way of getting plutonium, I'm afraid. Like, it works, but it's terrible. Like, it's very low-end, limited. Slow. Where do the plane filters go? Plane filters go into this hopper. Here. Where I am. Oh, here he is. Yeah, they're the most efficient way. Wait, when you say efficient, what do you mean by the word efficient? Because they ain't... Yeah, define efficiency in this sentence to me, please. I remember I was trying to make another miniature particle collider, so I had to go do a whole bunch of things, and do you know what the net result has been? I still don't have any super magnetic rings. That's okay, I'll grab all of those. I will make that 50 rings. Oh, no, I don't have any.
Are there multiple places where organic crystals are being used on Dora World?
No, there are not. And there's just one, and it's here. You know, so I've just shoved mine, because we now have an interplanetary legit session just over there. I wouldn't be surprised if that just used up all of the warpers, though. Right, so... right.
We like prioritize to use the logistic ones before the oil production.
Yep, we are. Well, sort of. Yeah, we are, because it's feeding in. So, this should mean the oil production ones... I mean, in theory, they'll back up. In practice, they won't. But it just means we've got a nice log of actually creating things at full speed for a while. Right, but Degato, what you're not taking into account is it takes up a shit ton more room. And if anything is at a premium, at least on this planet, it's... Actually, no, there's probably quite a lot, but yeah. They take up so much room to do a row of fractionators, it's just mad. Right, I'm still trying to make production B. So for these I need those, and for those I need the non-magnetic coils, which I've definitely got. So I assume most of you watching play Fortress Craft, what this game needs are heists. So when you go near a heist, it will automatically teleport into your inventory an item that you say how much you want in your inventory, and if it's in the storage container, it will transmit it in. I really want that in this game, rather than me having to do what I'm doing now, flying around going, where do we keep these again? Keep them somewhere. Wait, how are you out of turbine? Oh. Ah, right, yes, now I need to set a filter on that, so there's always one of that type going through. But that means I can drop off all of my Mark 1 conveyors. And also a ping would be nice. That just sort of tells me where the nearest of the thing I want is. I need to making them. Yeah, so Dexter, your solution is the most efficient way is to mod the game and have a much bigger planet. Like, all right, but you do see how that you're stretching the definition of efficient to not mean efficient anymore. How much ended up with 42? That's the other thing is I keep ending up with low-level conveyor belts because I'm upcrafting stuff.
Yep.
And that's why, so we kind of have a dump pop. So just in front of the Mark 1 conveyors are a place you can put Mark 1 conveyors, which I don't think we're crafting anymore. I hope we're not. I have a horrible feeling, oh, we still are. We really shouldn't be.
How many have you got in inventory?
None now, because I've got rid of them all. So I'm just going to
How many did you have?
Oh, I don't know, like 1,000.
I've got 3,000.
Oh. If you come over, I mean, if you come over here, you can stick all your old ones away, and as long as you bring a whole bunch of turbines with you, they will be upcrafted nicely.
Where's the turbines?
There are turbines over near the sort of the chemical area. Oh shit! No, I don't need to do that. Oh, I didn't want to do these two in there. Right. Well, so while I've been faffing around, did any of those rings get made? See, all of these coal veins are out now. So now we have.
Bring back to Dora World.
Now I have a whole bunch of. Oh, there we go. I do agree that fractionators are the simplest way of making it. I'll give it a full agreement there, but not efficient or best. Yeah, there are blueprints, up into including an entire planet. You can just go click.
Back to land on Dora World. Well, 0.3 AU out. 12 seconds. Incoming. The game has occurred an error.
Oh dear.
Poop.
Oh.
Loading.
Hopefully we aren't crashing. I'm transmitting a lot of data somewhere apparently.
Hoping.
Yeah, there we go. Oh, yeah, the fractionators are very cool. There's no argument there. But this is what I mean, I mentioned before about I don't like games where there's a best solution. The fractionator versus particle glider is an excellent example of that. Which is best? On one hand, you have less space used, but more power used. On the other hand, well, you have the opposite. That's excellent. That means I have to make a decision as a player which I want to do. And that is how games should be. They should not be like Factorio, where you just go, this is the best thing, I'm just doing that. That is poor game design. Players should always have to make a decision, you know, which is... Well, I mean, I guess you can design the game the other way, but that's the wrong button, and I just blew up our particle refinery. Whoops. No one saw me. La 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 la. Oh man, how did it not copy the... Fine, whatever. And out it is there. Again, I wish it would tell me. Wait, lack of item. I'm just gonna place it. Oh,
Three things on the floor.
Yeah, it's probably, I was gonna say it's probably on the floor actually. Was indeed on the floor. Yeah, the problem with blueprints is it will also encourage players to overdo things in game-breaking ways, because the limit of time is no longer part of it. You know, when you can take 1,000 hours worth of work and then repeat it in a few seconds, you can then effectively play the game for 1,000,000 hours in a very short period of time, which is, you know, has every chance of pushing something past the limit that you ever expected it to. What's the chance of making any more of these? I can make 38 of these due to not enough of those little fancy rings. I'll get the rings, then I'll see how our green production is doing. I think awfully, but I'll try and track back what the root cause is.
Ooh, there's something that was not made from this oil pipeline. Just made.
What?
When did you make an oil pipeline? Well, I'll say oil pipeline.
Esmir did start to connect some more pipelines, but never finished, so they were just kind of there to finish up at some point in the future. Might be what
This one was mostly connected. There were four blocks that were prepared but not created.
Oh,
Just wandered by and created them.
I think,
So
think Esmir, but I don't know if there was a good reason for it.
I don't think so. I mean, they were made, so it wasn't as though they were sort of deleted. Well, I say placed, prepared. I'm just walking along and suddenly my drones fly out like, wait, what?
Oh, that was me. All right, that was today. Yeah, it doesn't store those between games, so that was something I did today. Thank you.
Right, yeah. Just walking by. Where's the conveyor upgrader?
You.
This is not a placed machine.
Sorry, what?
The thing you had where you placed the conveyors in and it will upgrade them.
Just press U. Oh, sorry. Oh, we've just got a error.
Oh.
Same thing again, planet transport. I think we can just ignore that one. Because that's exactly what I had before. One of our transport ships has gone.
Hmm.
Well, tell you what, come and land in front of the shopping area and I will do what it says, which is to save, quit and come back. But as I said, when this happened before, it's exactly the same error. I just think one of our transport ships dipped for one thing. So yeah, I'm just outside the shopping area.
I think I'm coming. Oh, I can see you now. Yeah.
I'm getting the same error. Only later.
Yeah. Okay, game saved successfully.
Get me a drink.
Okay. Because I think the point is there, you don't know if the game is broken. You also don't know. Oh, what did I save it as? you also don't know, like, what that means. The silly thing is, this is a very trivial error to capture and fix. But when I did it before, it was happening again and again and again and again and again. Every time we came in, it happened. So what I did is I loaded it, got rid of the error message, waited for a couple of hours, saved it, and then the error didn't come back. Well, it did, but not for several hours of play. So it looks like it's not a critical issue. It's just simply a annoying one. Bear in mind, if the thread that's running the movement of the spaceships crashes, and assuming it has 1/3 for each spaceship movement, how would you know? That's why, I mean, fortunately, that's why I have the watchdogs running, because there's no way you'll know it's broken. Oh, yeah, there we go again. But I think it's fine to ignore that one. I really do. Essentially, it's looping that we've either added or removed a transport drone or logistics vessel, and it's trying to tick with a null one. When I save it, I'll save it as something else, though, just to make sure. So if it's worst case scenario, we will have to roll back to this point. We're hoping the mod gets fixed before too soon, though, so we can use the newer version of the game. We're still on version 0.8.
Can I join game yet? Or
Yeah.
right, joining.
Nothing to lose. I don't have soil. Yeah. But given that this is a caught error, I don't think it's crashing the thread. I mean, not that we'd know, because, well, we'd eventually noticed the spaceships weren't flying. But as I have pointed out, there is no way to easily or sensibly investigate all of our logistics stuff, which I think is a major failing on this game. So you just kind of have to hope when you get really big bases, just hope everything is still working, or wait till it goes wrong and track back all the way through what went wrong. I don't think that's good. I'm hoping this gets fixed. Is this game early access? I can't remember.
Yes.
Then I should forgive it. I mean, I forgive Icarus more if they weren't lying about being in early access.
Oh, did you put a label on this storage bin?
You can't on storage bins, only on conveyors.
Is that what? No. Because I can see a label. Okay, there's a label. Okay, I say label. There's a thing on the storage bin saying conveyor, but then there's just something down to the side which has a.
Oops.
Oh, it's a filter. That's what it is. Right.
Ah,
yeah,
right, yeah. I also wish that sorcerers didn't need power. It seems like an annoying decision.
Yeah.
A lot of the decisions are carrying from game to game. Like they are copying from Factorio, and Factorio also requires power for the arms.
Yes. Well, I mean, this is my biggest comment about the games they copy Factorio's power. Whereas the last thing I would ever, because I'm doing a logistics game, I have another logistics game that's not Fortresscraft in the works, and I've had a long, hard think about power. And I've come to the decision that you just run power under the floor. Done. That's the game explanation for how and why, and done. I don't like the power in this and Factorio. It's not compelling and fun. It's just a ball ache that you just have to just cover everything in the game with all this little telegraph poles everywhere. Right,
Requesting join clearance.
Clear to join. It's shit in Mindustry as well. It's not just Factorio, because Mindustry also copies Factorio's. At least Mindustry does give you the option to diode stuff, so you can actually design your base to, without having separate power networks, so you can ensure critical infrastructure always runs.
I think this game, like if they made the power more evil and more of a brain teaser, then that could also be a valid design direction. Now it's like too easy to really be a game challenge.
Yeah, but you just, yeah, I say you just sort of vaguely spaff down the Tesla Tower's done. There's very little thinking about it. Oh, I just need to. Got a dump. I don't know what it was. Was that? No, it wasn't Steam. I get that, but sometimes I receive like IM notification noises, and I've just no idea which one it was. Yeah, see, Mike, the idea at Fortress Craft, the power is part of the game. There are three things in Fortress Craft you deal with. One is power, one is resources, and one is light. These are all were designed as resources that you have to worry about. So the design of your power network in Fortress Craft is part of the game. Eventually you get the induction plates and it becomes a little bit of a nothing. Yeah, but so why not? I agree the power is a background thing, and yet I have to keep crafting Tesla towers and slap them down next to things.
Grabbing the mountain.
I know. It's been loading for about 3 seconds already. And I've just made a couple more particle colliders. I'm hoping at some point you did promise me wireless hoops, what are they called? Doohickeys. These things. The rings. I can't bother to keep making particle colliders because I have to keep making the rings by hand. But I will upcraft a whole bunch more conveyors.
I also think that the hand smelting here is like too easy. I think they could balance the game a lot by making smelting more energy intensive.
Yeah, I think the real issue is the Dyson Sphere bit is way too easy. Like really, it's too easy. I mean, that's kind of the point. You know, once you've cracked Dyson Spheres, power becomes easy and infinite, and that's kind of the point. But there's no reason to do it, which is why I want to destroy the planet by mining it away. I want to melt asteroids into slag. You know, I want to use this power and in huge and crazy ways. That's because I think bigger than most devs. I think way, way bigger than I'm capable of writing. Sadly. But yeah, I mean, the point I make about the power network is if you were to take away the power code from the game, would you at any point in any way go, I really wish I had to worry about not the generation of power, but the other bit, the
distribution.
The distribution. It's just not fun or interesting. It just exists. And what's that game we're going to play? Riftbreaker. So Riftbreaker, as I said, Riftbreaker is twin stick heavy, logistics light, and it has power, but you just don't need to worry about it. You just have power for the whole base, and that's fine. Never at any point did I go, I really wish that I was hooking up little power grids and dioding things. You just battery, solar panels. It just works. Really, I haven't noticed. I have played that in my single player save, but I've been mostly playing it as an idle game, so I've got a crazy ass Dyson Sphere. But yeah, Fortress Craft makes power generation a mini game. You know, it's part of it, having to worry about sending your power back and forwards and everything. And that was on purpose. I found it quite an engaging mechanic. And it's quite interesting. Like, you know, and then there are arguments again about how do you design a good power system. And that's also good because there is no best power system. And then you get people just doing the most horrendous things, like creating these crazy, I'll say batteries, it's not quite the right term, because it's a whole bunch of, I suppose it is, they are literal batteries. They are batteries of batteries. I don't think there's a term for that. But it's like, dude, please build a higher grade battery rather than just a huge amount of low grade batteries. Okay. Why can't I make railguns? Because I need rings. Just gonna check that doesn't happen to be everything I need for that nearby, does there? Graphite is... That's graphite.
I think I doubled the production of the blue rings. But it's gonna have supply problems soon.
Well, I can request them. Oh yeah, battery farms is something I've seen a lot of people do. And that's why in Fortresscraft, I'm not messing around with upscaling. Like, a tier 2 is 10 times better than a tier 1. Because otherwise people will just build, if it's 5 times better, people just build 5 tier 1s. And it's like, please don't do this. There's a reason I'm trying to make you do this. And it's you know, it's performance in the long term. But it's actually quite funny seeing people try very, very hard with endgame bases. You know, they're running at like 2 frames a second and they have endless fields of low tier batteries. So I said to them, build some higher tier ones. And the usual response is the same. That's too much effort. Like, it's definitely not more effort than what you've done. What you've done is insanity. I think a lot of this game...
Have you made the higher tier batteries less resource intensive than the equivalent storage on the lower tier batteries?
Yes, usually
Okay,
by... Yeah,
resources.
but they're higher grade materials. But
yeah,
all the way through, I've essentially found that 2 to 1 is not enough. Like, the next tier, sometimes I've made it just an insane amount better. You know, like you get the 3x3 batteries, which are therefore 9 times the size, but I've made them, I think they're like 27 times the power. No, they're not even that, are they? They're even more. Because otherwise people just build a shit tons of the low grade ones, with me going, please stop doing this. You're hurting the engine. Schalke, I have built Interstellar Logistics Station number 38, which we can name Rings Here. And it's got, there are none in transit, I'm afraid. I'll be honest, I can't
It's being used somewhere else, and that has like priority on it.
But we don't know where it's being used. And there's no way to find out.
I'm suspecting not seeing all stuff.
Because this is why I tend to limit stuff if I think it's gonna bottleneck. Well, the only reason I'm going to make them by hand is because I'm making... Oh, steel. Wow, haven't needed steel in a while. I'm making laser pew guns. Oh, it has been pointed out I forgot to demand rings. I am now demanding rings.
Thank you, chat. I'm guessing.
Yes. I mean, that hasn't helped, but thank you anyway. Well, the point was, with the battery farms, the reason that I did it was because a 3x3x3 battery is still a single entity. It is a single mesh. It is in all aspects 27 times more efficient to have one big thing than 27 little things. And I've had to explain this to people before. I said, if you render 100 objects at 100 frames a second, you will render 200 objects at 50 frames a second. This is just how it works. But people seem to get confused that if you put down 10 times as many objects, all things being equal, it will render at 1/10 of the frame rate, because it's just how it has to work, I'm afraid. Like, 0 objects renders at infinite frames a second, and infinite objects render at 0 frames a second. And I'm very good. Like, I feel I'm very good at what I do, but there are some basic levels of things that no one can overcome. Unrelated, does anybody have any soil on Dora World?
46k.
Could you... Are you on Dora World?
Yep.
I thought you... Oh, well, then could you come to the railgun area?
If I knew where the railgun area is.
Well, that's easy. If you could go to the map, look at all the railguns being shot off the
Yeah,
stage.
that's what I'm doing. Right. Okay, that's where it
It's one of the easier ones to
Okay,
find.
there. Yeah. Mm. Oh, there's a frequent blue flash from. Oh, right. There.
Yeah. And big things are cool. That is important. Yeah, I'm just
Wait,
wanting.
do you want-
I'm going to be extending the railgun thing over to the. Yeah, can you just get rid of that lake? Incidentally, if you have a lake that you are pulling water out of, and then you cover up the lake, you still get water out of it.
On both sides removed.
Yeah, I'm gonna loop the railguns down and back again. Incidentally,
Yeah.
is it just me or the railgun's not firing for very long? I mean, they're quite near the equator. What if I'm doing something wrong? I wonder if I've designed something wrong. So when the railguns fire now, they are firing into the hypothetical Dyson Orbit, Dyson Orbit 2. Sorry, Swarm Orbit 2, which is that one. Is that wrong? Like, should I be firing it at a different... Because it should be up. That was the thought. They should always... Yes, thank you again. No matter where they are, be able to see the... Oh, I can't see it from that menu. Right, so I can't see the Dyson Swarm from this menu, and I can't see the planets from this menu. Brilliant. I thought the idea should be that you could always see some of the swarm somewhere. Oh, to be fair, there is a planet in the way at this second in time.
Yeah, that might. They vaguely they're aimed at it, maybe.
That is beautiful, though.
What's reasoning?
I mean,
It's too low. Yeah.
But why can it not fire a different part of the ring?
Oh crap! I don't know.
I really aren't using very many of these circuit boards. What are we using these circuit boards for? Ah, I need to kill that too.
Processors.
Oh, the satellite stations are great. They're really good. I can't make one, but they cover a huge area. Yeah, these circuit boards are just... It's just, I want to clear down this thing, but I don't want to just pick up. But I'm already carrying like 1,000 circuit boards. I really don't want any more.
Yeah.
But I was gonna begin to ring the planet in railgun launchers, because then hopefully one will always be firing. So has it chosen one specific point on the swarm,
think so.
and then it always fires
Yeah.
at that point rather than any point it could say? Even if it just had 8 points around the ring, and it could try and track one of the 8.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, a part of this game's approach is things are stupid, therefore, or they're not smart, so therefore you need a lot of them. And I'm good with that. I'd like to point out we are now down to 0 graviton lenses per minute. So that means 0 green research.
What's it capped on?
I don't know. I've just noticed there is. I'm at the graviton lens offload section. Just noticed that it's at 0. Oh, let's see. Yeah, but the problem is it doesn't seem like they're all the way back around here. Like they haven't been firing quite a long time. They're all full. They're all ready to fire. Nothing's firing. I seem to be running these circuit boards around a more and more tortuous and awful route. Circuit boards on a circuitous route, yes. Just to avoid these bloody railguns. Oops,
We have graviton lenses, it's the quantum chips that we don't have.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we got 126 in the storage container here.
I don't mean to disagree with you anyway. The only reason is we are getting 0.
Yes, no three. Oh right, yeah. There's none coming through. Right, I get what you mean.
So,
Yeah.
Well, I think they're both broken then. So
Right.
the quantum chip should be going quickly because Schalke just dropped off like 10,000 plane filters, so we should be full pelt on those. But we are not because we are lacking processors. You promised me we were having processors sent from. You promised. That was the exact words. Well, I promised.
Yes. At the time there were.
Well, but this is again. I'd like to look at the logistics station. I'd like a graph of everything it's done over the last however long.
Are we getting processors in at?
No, at the North Pole.
No,
There's
where?
none coming in right now. And 7 of our spaceships are idle. We also have 0 circuit boards coming in, so I could probably cancel that because we used to pull circuit boards from there.
That was from a stash.
Yeah, I missed that. No, it was a bug. It was generating them just randomly. It was a good bug.
Oh right.
But the bug has gone away.
Hmm. Right, about to travel to Hot Singles. Go and investigate the processors.
Please do.
Power is good enough. Hot Singles, here we come. You built your first wind turbine. Wait, what?
I just placed one down. Well done. I guess. What? That I don't understand.
Well, I think it doesn't keep things between games, basically.
No,
The
because
multiplayer.
you'd have been like harassed by messages of all sorts of things, but like constantly the whole game if that was the case.
I am. I keep thinking, bing, bling, 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 bling. Suddenly when you log in, for some it's like there's about 5 different. Hey, you got this milestone of building this.
Oh, okay. I guess I'm the host.
Hot Singles approach.
Yeah, logistics stations still feel a bit expensive to do that with. Though you are right.
Oh.
I think I actually have. So I do. Oh yeah, it's because they only got 3. It seems to. Where are they all coming from? What's the chance we'd be able to fit one in? Like, they're a bit expensive, and annoyingly, so are the drones. But I completely agree with you. I should do that. I should get. And you will supply me. You will supply circuit boards. I think I had a stack of them in my inventory. There we go.
We have a storage full of the local drones at Matti.
Oh, might be a good idea to grab those across to here at some point.
How do you demand stuff from an interstellar logistics station?
What are you trying to do?
Take out high purity silicon.
From
Hot singles.
So you okay, so your interplanetary logistics station, you want to just take stuff out of it via a conveyor belt or via drones?
Conveyor belts.
I think you just conveyor belt out and that just does it.
Yeah. Right, so it will demand stuff when it gets down low enough then. Will it? Or do I have to say demand it?
It will, I think that will just pull it out. But you should set it ideally to remote demand, meaning ask to have it sent from somewhere else, and local supply, meaning supply to the local stuff.
Yeah, that's pulling in a load now for it. Right, cool. The load in transit. Sweet, that's good.
Dexter,
Yeah.
bear in mind, yeah, okay, we are literally at this point struggling because we're out of circuit boards, and you want to automate something, processors, you want to automate something that requires 40 processors. Let me think about that. Right, so this interstellar logistics station should be able to, because that one's full, I should be able to then pull in circuit boards around the back. Local demand, oh no, local demand, remote supply. Yeah. So in theory, places could also pull it from here for other planets now. But I'd like to see the game's estimated amount of supply and demand of all resources. So we could even say, hey, now we've built that new mega station on Alpha Centauri, we can no longer supply enough circuit boards. Rather than me visiting Alpha Centauri for the first time in 6 hours going, oh shit, I ran out of circuit boards. They've just made this part of the game so big and complicated, you need big and complicated tools in order to deal with that. Oh, I forgot to put a filter on that. In the filter, there it is. I'd like circuit boards, please. Thank you. And then in theory, I don't believe anything else taps off this. I don't know of anything, and I guess what I can do is I can make an executive decision saying nothing else will tap off this, and then we can pull it off the logistics stations rather than, yeah, and then hopefully in theory, without, for too long, we will just have circuit boards sent from another planet here.
So what did you decide?
This conveyor run I don't think actually connects to anything of note. I think the circuit boards go off in that direction. Oh, these bloody... It's very hard to see which direction they go. They are going in this direction. Okay. There we go. It's not the best interface, is it? There we go. Right, there you go. That's valid. We're not going to complain. Holding shift will make it not auto... Oh, I did not know that. Yes, we are sending circuit boards off yonder. But this entire conveyor belt line of circuit boards, I think, just went for Dysoning. Yes.
Now there's some processor making in Matti, and I can try to hook it up on the Interstellar.
Well, I mean, feel free. It should be what we've got now. Should be fine though. Because I think, well, what was the problem actually, Henry? Why did it stop? What did you do wrong?
We were taking silicon out of a storage bin, and I hadn't reattached the toilet to take it out of the stack thing.
Oh, it was your fault.
No,
I feel bad now. I was only being funny.
Yeah. Forgot to do something, so well, I should have redone it a bit differently, but it's back running now at 260 a minute. And it's fed from silicon off-world or elsewhere, so it should carry on whenever we attach silicon supply to a world-producing thing.
Or what kind of thing?
The next step up from ore, not ore, but what do you call it?
Ingots.
That's the one.
Where's the NMI? Oh man. Right, this is. Ah, here goes the end. Must be very careful what I shift click on. Ooh, yeah, that locked up for quite some time as I destroyed that big conveyor thing. It's a shame that your drones don't have to fly out and destroy stuff.
Yeah.
Just if
That'll
nothing
be-
else, when you're doing anything, if you could make something happen once per frame rather than 700 times a frame, it's just better all round. But here, there's quite an appreciable lurch as it does that. Plus, it would look cool. Okay, conveyor belts are now removed from the area because everyone was complaining at me. Done. I believe I'm going to have to go to here. Get the railgun. Oh, now I notice the railguns don't have any sails at all. Because we're lacking... Oh, graphite again. Okay. Last time we were... Oh, yeah. Oh, graphite's on the Interstellar network. So let's try, rather than fixing conveyor spaghetti. I would quite like to do a skip pan day, by the way, in the Tesla. I would just find it amusing that the base models, they don't have a traction control off option. That's just not there. You only get that on the P. But it would still be excellent fun, I think. I have done skid days before. I did it in a Caterham or a Westfield. It was quite scary, actually. Probably the best way of phrasing it. But good. It was a big skid pan, and there were two people, and you had to do a mirror of the course, and you were racing against your mate. And it was whoever did it first won. I notice we do have an automated planetary logistics station. Well, mildly automated, shall we say. Oh, this isn't hooked up at all. That'd be why. I'll just look it up slowly because I don't know why it was not hooked up. But that should now send that down. But it's only going to here. This also wants a ton of microprocessors, which I do have. And steel, which is just over here. Actually, isn't there steel just... Come on, I'll go get where steel is. Don't need me about function creep. That's not a real phrase. You can't just make phrases up. If anything, our base is getting slowly more optimized, slowly tidied up. I mean, yeah, very slowly. But we are still no movement on greens. I'll check why as soon as I remember where the hell I just was.
So an interstellar station that I placed down is not responding as I would guess it would respond when I'm trying to place drones into it.
Okay.
So that might be bugged out or errored out.
Maybe. If so, that's the only one. I don't have any issues with any of the rest.
I've got something weird going on here. I've got a storage Mark II that's full, but it's not emptying. I can't see why currently.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've only used about 2 storage Mark IIs because they're completely pointless. You never need to store that much with something that's significantly more expensive to make. So you might as well just...
Yeah.
Because this one uses 4 steel, this one uses 24 steel. Why would I make that? So it uses, iron. It uses 3 times as much iron and the same and twice as much concrete for double the size.
Oh, it's working again now. Just put down a sorter and it decided to start.
Okay.
Meh.
Well, we do have a. Oh, now it needs titanium. My goodness me, this thing really is demanding of resources. The problem is, it requires 4 inputs, but there are only 2 logistics feeds, so it will jam up. I think they're push, not pull. Oh, maybe that seems to have, well, I say in theory solved it. Oh, no, hold on. Aha. There we go. That was why. Right, so why are we not making any railguns? Because we're at graphite. Have I not requested graphite from this? Yes, I did. Did I manage to connect the conveyor belt up? No, I didn't. The little things. There we go. And smash. Oh, there wasn't.
That like.
Yeah, please do smash that like button if you're watching. Apparently, from people who get a lot more views than I do, liking helps, commenting helps. Please do like. If you are watching, you're not subscribed, please do subscribe or follow, depending on if you are, which platform you are choosing. I used to get this in the Fortress Cross streams. I'd say, hey, don't forget to like and subscribe, and like 30 people go, oh yeah, I probably should. Why weren't you already? That got priority. Well, the solar cell production is bopping along nicely now. But in theory, squeeze another one in. Actually, didn't I have a solar cell offloader? I meant to. Because these go around in a big circle. Square. And then they come back. And then they end up for spaceships. So sometimes I end up, yes, I could theory go and get them from here. Probably not a lot of point there. But all of these railguns are now full. What is this conveyor belt here doing? Doesn't seem to have anything on it. But as I said, it might just be that it's temporarily busy, permanently out of commission. No clue. Commenting a lot kind of just happens when we are... oh my god, I asked Henry to fill in a lake and he completely failed. You suck at lake filling. Yeah, well, I mean on the stream, would you say that's the bit you missed?
You destroyed a load of stuff, damn it.
It's alright. I will...
Oh, come on.
No,
You got enough earth?
No, I don't.
And I'll come back and do it.
No, that's fine. I want to... I can just continue it here and then that will become the outwards later on.
Right, on my way back. Hang on.
It's really not very important. Don't even stress.
Well.
Yeah, I've been working on a game with the guy I work with on Eden, so I haven't been. So I've been focusing on it's my Dungeon Defenders clone where you don't build any towers, which should be good. So I haven't looked at my logistics game in a little while. It's still there. It is still in progress. It will. At some point, I will start talking about it. I've written a much better... Basically, I've written a much better conveyor system than Fortresscraft. It's really good. It's actually smart. And it was all going very well until I messed up. So when you side-loaded a conveyor, instead of pausing, the object just continued off into space. So that's the last thing I've fixed. But it's all working now. And I've purposely designed it in such a way that I can get what I call the Terraria effect, which is where it's so easy to add stuff into the game. You end up with too much stuff in the game. I don't want too much stuff, but it means that I can end up with lots and lots and lots of machines, because I can add a machine in just an hour or two. So I spent a lot of work ensuring the game is very extensible. It's not quite full XML extensible, but the first thing I did was I wrote a generic autocrafter, so I should be able to trivially add stuff in. But yeah, so hopefully that will be one of the games I get out for September. Its gimmick is it's Overcooked meets Factorio, I suppose. If I were to edit this ring and set the orbit, the longitude of AN to here, would that actually increase the amount of time? Does it matter? I guess this is a question for Mike more than anybody else. Is there any way I could optimize my Dyson Swarm entry location in order to maximize the amount of time that Dora World can fire? You have a think about that. I'm getting a drink. you said that North and South poles are the best railgun spots. You're wrong, because if it's on the north and it's winter, it won't be able to see the spot for a very long time. And at the same time, one on the south. So I believe if you took any two spots on a globe with an axis inclination, over the course of the entire year, both spots see the sun for the same amount of time, assuming that we're symmetrical across north to south. But wait, you guys are aware of bits of the Earth that are during the winter are dark the whole time, and during the summer are light the whole time. You are right, there are some points of the planet's orbit that will always be able to see it, but at the same time, a whole bunch of the planet won't be able to see it for any time at all. I mean, I think what I should probably do is slap a logistics over here and just have another section, so one of them is always firing. The building is tall. Does that affect it?
In theory, see beyond the horizon a bit more.
Yeah, but does it just
Maybe.
not affect it equally? So everything can just see 10% more.
Oh, that's funky. There's a word for that concept, but in English version of the Wikipedia it just says polar night.
Well, that's because we don't have any real concept of this. To us, this is the concept of... In England, during the winter, it gets dark at like 3 o'clock, and quite frankly, we don't cope with that very well. The concept of it being any more than that would just break us.
Yeah, there's a concept of kaamosmasennus, polar night depression. The psychological effect is also known.
Yes, I've heard about that. What was that TV show? Fargo dealt with it quite a lot, actually. What I could probably do is just run a load of... hold on. Do I have anyone on Dora World? No. So little soil. I could probably get some more. What I did before to get more soil is you do this. Because this will net me some soil. Not a lot, but will net me some. And the best thing is...
the size of the letters is starting to sink in for me.
They're huge, aren't they?
I'm heading for Dora World with some drones with me.
Oh. Yes, use a planet not orbiting a gas giant. Yes, I get that. I mean, I have just got myself 1,000 soil. I did, in my single player, come across a planet, I think it was a volcanic planet, and it was just like, oh my god, I've got so much soil suddenly, because it was slightly hilly. It was amazing.
Arriving.
Do you have soil, Shalka? I bet you do.
Yeah. I'll dump the drones near the shopping area.
Thank you. If you could come over here with some dirt. Yeah, I think, I mean, what you guys have said to me is pretty much what I was under the impression of anyway. The best way is to ring the planet with railguns around the equator. I think you guys may have not quite grasped the axial tilt, or I haven't, because if you pick a pole, whatever pole you pick, the other one is in the other season. It's just how it works. So although you might be able to have your North Pole almost entirely in sunlight, For the other half of the year, it'll be almost entirely in nighttime. And I don't think it matters whether you're pointing at the sun or any arbitrary point, because it, doesn't. Our research does seem to be moving again now, by the way, so that's good. Not quickly, but it's doing something. Quick check. We're at 0 gravitons per minute, which is, well, I'll say fine. It's not fine, but is acceptable because we are jammed up on the other one. If you have something with -2 tilt, it still applies. It still applies no matter how you slice it. So if you have barely any tilt, what that means is that you're averaging towards a 50-50 split. So if there's no tilt at all, you'll have an exactly 50% of the time when you can see the sun, and 50% of the time you can. The more tilt there is, a greater, so it's at 45 degrees tilt. For half the year, you can see it for 8 hours a day. If the other half, you can see it 16 hours a day rather than 12 and 12. So I'm pretty sure it exactly balances out. I'm pretty sure. That's how sure I am. Pretty sure. Although I realise I am putting a little bit too much of my personal focus and time here on giving us more power, when the only thing we're really not lacking any of is power.
Unity soil.
To me. So someone was asking about the. I should have checked for you back here. Yeah. Someone was asking about the satellite stations. Just to the right. Just continue the line of railguns that way for. Well, if you can do until you hit that big coal mine, would be great. I think they're brilliant because you get to put one thing down and it covers all of them like that. Just to compare, that thing covers that. What is it, my love? What do you want? To be a pain. Fair enough, you win. Oh bugger, I forgot I needed copper and microprocessors. Not copper, steel. Easy mistake to make. Yeah. So there's a cutoff point at which the tilt outweighs the fact the gun is, the equivalent of 15 kilometers tall in our tiny planets. Interesting, yes. I don't have any microprocessors over here, but Henry has promised an infinite supply of them. The important words there are infinite and promise.
Yes.
I think on conveyor belts. Again, I wish that I had heists. I just want to fly over the conveyor belt things. I wanted to take all of the low grade conveyor belts out of my inventory and put higher grade ones in automatically. If you're watching devs, you can have that one. Just credit me. Just say thanks Fortress Craft and I'll be like, fucking A. Now I don't mean to be picky about the number of microprocessors currently not making their way to this planet. But I did find some in a storage chest, so I guess it's all fine. Oh, and then our purple researchers backed up, so we're out of particle broadband because we're out of plastic. I don't believe that Wikipedia entry Yeah, sorry. I don't think you can sum up a very complex piece of orbital mechanics with one number. I'm sorry, I don't.
Which bit are we talking about?
You should put EM ejectors 30 degrees below polar because of the 60-degree inbuilt pitch limit. Right, what happens to the planets at 45 degrees? Or your solar ring is outside of your planet, or this just seems there are way too many factors, surely, to just sum it up with one number. Now, what I could do, something I'm surprised if you have suggested, I can have multiple orbits out there. So I could have one aiming at 1, one aiming at 2, or one aiming at 3. So in theory, the solution is to have multiple rings up. Like. It amuses me if we continue to play this. At some point, I'm going to have to tear all of these railguns up, pardon me, and move the railguns en masse to another planet. Ring the planet and deliver like 1 million solar cells. Oh yes, obviously I've got a tidal lock planet in my single player. I just covered the tidal, the sunny bit in railguns, not railguns, ray collectors. It made things very, very easy. Yeah, we're way past sail decay time, but it means something's always firing. So I'll better start now. Make another one of those. Oh, wait, okay. Brain's gone. Dyson Sphere Program. What time is it? Okay, not too late. Wow, makes a change. But yeah, now I've got a better chance of one half the planet be able to fire sails out. I don't think we're crafting them fast enough to consider maxing anything, but we were producing them much quicker than we were setting them up. Damn, that is so cool though. Yeah, the thing is, a lot of the wiki entries, they are making, like, one of them starts to explain what a dot product is. It's like, dude, if you don't know basic trig, just take the idiot answer rather than someone very cleverly doing all his maths. And I am a bit sad I have no control over this. Apart from, I guess I could have obviously made 10 Dyson spheres, all the same size, one per letter, to control them. But I don't get to choose which Dyson sphere they go to, do I? Yeah. Oh, that looks so cool. Look at that. Yeah, the issue is they're all aiming. I mean, maybe I've actually made it worse by putting the AN point at the top. Because of the pitch limit. I can't edit the point, can I? So what happens if I delete that? Oh, it says deactivated, okay. Add orbit. See, what I could have done, you see, is done it like that. Which means they'll stop firing now, of course, just to make my life I really wish I could show the planets and the Dyson stuff in one screen. It does seem very odd that the railgun shots just spawn out of nowhere. Oh, orbit not set. Oh no. Oh. I can deactivate an orbit. Huh? I can recover the orbit. Can I not tweak it until all the sails are out of it? I didn't want to create a new one. I wanted to just edit this one. But I guess I have to wait until all the sails have arrived. Question mark? I can't use blueprints. I'm in multiplayer. That's not an option. It breaks it in quite exciting ways. I mean, you say I can edit the orbits, but I don't believe you. No, I want to edit the orbit. I don't want to set a new. I don't want to aim them at a new orbit. These are all set to 2. Well, they are because. Oh, what you mean is I should have. No, doesn't edit orbit just open up this screen? So if I select this particular railgun for 1, yeah, it just brings up the screen. I think I have to wait till all of these sails are out of the they've all docked. I can recover the orbit. I can add an orbit. I'm assuming this will become edit once this is in deactivated status rather than deleted. I'll just have to wait half a minute or so. I might be wrong, but we'll find out in half a minute. We have to play an older version of the game because we're playing it multiplayer. So we are. I know they have changed that interface.
The big solar sail just travelling overhead.
Oh yeah, if you're on what planet is it? One of the planets. You're actually inside.
Singles.
Yeah, you're actually inside the ring, aren't you?
Yep.
Yeah. You'll get. Well, to be quite frank, there's probably no collision at all, and I suspect once in a while a solar sail will float right through the middle of the planet. In the next patch, you can also determine the design of the solar sails rather than them all being this sort of hex pattern.
The big cock.
Yeah, I was avoiding that, but
I wasn't. So.
there's always one.
Mm-hmm.
The sails themselves, the sails themselves or the orbit?
I suspect the sails can fly through the middle of a planet because there's no collision. I doubt they have collision. Well, we'll see what happens in 3, 2, 1. Okay, so I can just add an orbit, which will go into slots. I don't know which. But again, there must be a difference, surely, between putting it at the biggest point and the smallest point. So that's now put it into slot 2, which means all the railguns need to be set back to slot 2. That's a pain. Oh, and you can't assign that when you're too far away. Also a pain. I don't really see how they're... Tabareva, do you have a screenshot backing that statement up, please? Because... You know the doubt meme?
Let's travel to Matty.
Because that's one thing they do actually list underneath the performance test. And right now, the Like the Dyson frames take up a whole 250,000 vertices. My video card can shove many hundreds of millions. I wonder what space junk is, by the way. We've got 2 space junk.
That's a London-matic.
Maybe that's crafting done when in space.
Maybe. I love that my frame rate drops when I enable profiling. It's very good. I mean, this is excellent stuff. Interestingly, Steam. Interestingly, you actually look at the game itself. They've sidestepped Unity's rendering for a whole bunch of it. So we were talking about the way it distorts stuff around. So you actually go poking in the Dame files. Where is it? Verta. So this is they've got their own format for objects, which is I haven't actually looked at it. Is it human readable? I haven't looked it up. So they're not using Unity's rendering for a lot of stuff. That's not. And this explains why their objects are all static. Like the internal name for this one is the Hadron Collider. But yeah, they are generating mesh data to hand up to Unity via compute, which is good. No, see, lodding is the biggest waste of time that people implement in their game. Video cards are very, very quick at rendering a lot of polys. They don't like rendering a lot of objects. Lodding helps reasonable amount, should we say, on mobiles. It helps a small amount on consoles, absolutely fuck all on a computer. It's absolutely not worth bothering with. It's such a tiny amount. It was good on with a PlayStation 2. Like, we really needed it there. Modern hardware. I'm not going to say it's a waste of time, but you're better off with other solutions. But there's no way they're lodding the Dyson Sphere. That just doesn't make sense. But I doubt they reduced the vert count. I mean, it's an easy way to tell. I can just load up a 0.9 game and see if the vert count's lower in the same game. But I really doubt it. Yeah, but 1 million polys is not a lot of polys. I mean, Fortresscraft... Oh man, have I got any screenshots showing this? I might actually be able to Google first, something I've tweeted about. I should really write blog posts about this stuff. Oh good, it's me complaining on the Unity forum, their shit doesn't work. Right, so here I'm drawing 3.5 million verts. No, you are using LOD correctly. My point is that many games talk about lodding and use lodding, and it's not an efficient way of speeding stuff up generally. But yeah, this is Fortresscraft in a long time ago, shoving 3 and a bit million verts around quite happily. And this was a post I wrote in 2016. I love this. Which developer is writing this? You should probably ping them for information. Like, me. I was having some more stats. I'm now heavily into instance rendering to the point where I am shoving around just insanity amounts of polys. Polys aren't, and vert count, that's not the slow bit. The slow bit is setting up the draws, and they are so efficient here. No, I should probably write more blog posts. I should probably write dev blog posts and shove it up on the Patreon. I know I am a terrible person who I need to get more dev streams up. I know I am aware of all of these things. basically, this is why I started up the unnamed HDRP project thing, to try and get me and Brett a little bit more up on just saying, hey, we're doing this, hey, we're doing that. I'm bad at it. Very bad at it. I just had this thing, I don't want to show you guys it until it's ready, and it's definitely coming and all that, but I shouldn't. We're at strange matter. Because, oh, so it looks like we can actually increase our production of strange matter now, because we now have no lack of deuterium, just a lack of frickin' turbines. But overall, I give this game a genuine 9.5 out of 10 for nearly all of its technical approach. It's extremely good. Going right past that. I'm really, 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 really very good. By the way, I've had a interstellar logistics station hooked up for supermagnetic rings for about an hour now, and it has grabbed exactly 0. I'm pretty sure that's not working. Or whatever else is demanding it at a hugely higher rate. Also possible. We're producing a whole 14 gravitons a minute, which means we are producing nowhere near enough greens, of which most of it going into warpers still. But of all the games I feel don't need optimizing, this is quite a long way up the list. The curvature of the planets is a very good rendering trick as well to improve performance, because you know something's a certain distance away, you don't have to render it, you don't have to put fog on, you just go render it. Oh, did you make that, Shaka?
Yeah.
Oh, good. I was like, oh, cool, I made one earlier, because I did start, you can see, I started here, sorting it out so we could actually... No, that's not hooked up anymore. I was trying to make it all in a line. You see, I made room here, but I just needed to extend this back. This bit here isn't hooked up anymore. I was trying to make this longer so we could have more strange particles.
In what direction?
Hang on. What I did is I did that there, then I was just waiting for the pink ones to go. If I get rid of the pink ones now, and I get rid of those ones, there you go. See, that's now there, and I think that's also far enough. Actually, not that one. Yeah, so now you can build. Actually, I might be able to craft it, and you can do your own one. Oh, I can't. I don't have enough rings. Yeah, there's just enough room in there to put one in this gap here. With the conveyor belts are all lined up. Or we could... No, the crude oils. I don't know if you can fit it in with the...
Vertical room.
With your... Why can't I make a particle collider? I don't make that. I don't have that because I don't have the iron. No iron nearby. The frames are also oh. You have an icon on you. Oh, they're not offloading. Oh, right, we're actually full on frames. Oh, good. I still try and play this like Fortress Craft. I'm happiest when this entire system has gone to sleep because it's full, it's at capacity. In this case it's not, it's because we're out of processors. Because we don't have a fast enough belt. Clicky bonk. Oh cool, I've technically sped up our spaceship generation. In practice I've just increased our deuterium demand. and we don't have any CPUs. Gotcha. Yeah, I was see the one thing this game does extremely well is all of these even most games, let's say Icarus, render stuff in a naive and stupid way. And what they would do is if they've got a 1,000 of these solar cells, they'll draw 1,000 objects. What this game does is it draws one object that looks like 1,000 solar cells. That's why it can shove around so much. Now, LOD is just a way of reducing the vertex count on something a long way away. To put to a car analogy, it's a bit like making sure your tyres are topped up to the right pressure to improve your fuel efficiency. It does improve your fuel efficiency, just not a lot. And same thing with this. LODing does improve your frame rate. Just not a lot. Not as much as a proper threaded, statically rendered compute shader solution, you know, doing it properly. This game has, everywhere I can spot, has done it properly, and full marks to them because of it. But they wouldn't be LODing that because it doesn't make any sense because you don't go to and from it. Now we do have a lot of CPUs. Oh, that's not CPUs. Yes, it is. We do have a lot of CPUs. Shall we bring them along a faster conveyor belt? Oh, we're out. I don't think I need to be doing that. And then all the rest. Wait, what is that? Oh. We must be tapping off the microprocessors somewhere else then. Like we have to be, because that ain't where this system over here gets it. It's not feeding into a logistics station.
It's probably on hot signals.
No. We are generating, we're using them here for the, where are the quantum processors? They're the quantum processors, and they require normal processors, which are, where are they coming from? Coming from here. Oh, they are coming from a... Oh, right, okay, that makes sense. Right, I think I have slightly solved the issue. So the issue was we are receiving them into the logistics network, but over here I was promptly shoving like 20,000 of them into a storage container. I've minimized the size of the storage container, meaning the other part of the equation should get more, a bigger slice of the pie. So that means that this one will fill up more. I'll reduce that as well. So my unique bit about this game, and I think it's one that everybody has, is I shouldn't have to use a mod to play it multiplayer. And I think it's ridiculous that a game that has made, at last check, $50 million doesn't just hire someone. Whatever your reason is for networking, it's too hard, no one on the team understands it, whatever it is, all goes out the window when you have quite literally money to burn. Instead, I'm going to go to sleep in another 420 green cubes. That seems like a good point to stop.
There's probably now enough deuterium rods to fill up the mechs.
Deuterium rods is for spaceships, though. Our limit at the minute is graviton lenses. Tabaru, have you got anything for that? Reagan said something. He said a lot of idiot things. He said one sensible thing: trust but verify. I do not doubt you're telling the truth, but do you have something that backs that up? Because I would be interested to read it. As I said, in Fortresscraft, I implemented a great number of mods into the game. Usually fairly easy to do, and the people who had written the mods were, without exception, ecstatic to know that would become canon. Instead, we are now exceeding our energy exchanger limit, so we are using more Dyson power. What are we at? Oh, so we're putting down about a third of our Dyson Sphere, so that's good. I don't know what photon generation does. I don't know what that's for. At some point I should look at it. Right, does that mean it's generating... That means using 60 megawatts because they've drawn it in the wrong direction, if that's the case. Can I even see that? I don't know what this is, by the way. I have no idea. Cool. Don't know why I want to do that, but I did. I mean... Oh, fuel only. I mean, lots of people say, and I am not offering an opinion, that Chinese people just copy stuff. So you're saying they've copied it, or they've talked to the guys that wrote it and said, hey, can we use it? And he's like, cool, sure. Or you're just saying they said that's good and just nicked it. I said I generally would just message going, hey, I love your mod, can I get the code to put it in the game? And they're normally like, brilliant. Sometimes it was easier for me just to improve or change the way the game worked in order to what's the word? In order to facilitate something they wanted, which I've done a number of times with different things. They're like the oil hoppers, are they called? The liquid minecarts. I could update the game with a graphic, but I couldn't actually implement the thing they wanted. So that was next best thing. Okay, now I'm just curious. I mean, I hope they are taking stuff from the community, but I obviously hope they are honourably crediting and discussing it with the people. I have no reason to doubt they aren't. It's just the way you phrased it. It's weird how little use the sorter has, doesn't it? Splitter, sorry. And we're barely using them anywhere.
It depends a little bit of the style.
Well, okay, I will be accurate with what I'm saying. If you're playing the game properly, there's barely any use for the splitter. Zing. Oh, now why did I do that? Answer, because I'm a moron. Wait, how did I do that? Oh, so I switched modes, that's why. But I do not understand why they are so against multiplayer. I don't know if they've given a reason for it. With some games, it's simply that the game is not written, I'll say very well, but it wasn't written with networking in mind. The fact that I'm playing on mod that adds networking hammers home the fact this game could absolutely support it, because, hey, look, here you go, it's happening. And they should, I personally believe, either implement it themselves or continue to add in stuff to make the author's life easier. As I've also said, it's 5 Chinese students, they've made $10 million apiece. They probably have very little motivation to do anything they don't want to. And this was a worry that people said to me during the Fortress Craft days, which is, are you going to give up? And it was Izzard, he said, if Adam sold 100 million copies of his game and made, insane amounts of money, and you went to visit him, he'd fly you over in his private jet and land you on his private island, and the butler would greet you and say, he's over there, and you'd go down and you'd find me, Adam, on the beach, toes in the golden sand, with a laptop, coding, because that is my default position. I don't know what I would do if I didn't write stuff, and I don't know what sort of people these are, but if they just say tomorrow, we're done, we're not doing any more on this game, here's the source code, we don't care anymore, we're rich, we're retiring, full marks to them, absolutely. I think they've done a stupendous job of getting to where they are, and same with Terraria, just the fact they continue to patch it kind of blew me away a little bit, like, really? Because you guys can just retire, and they did to a degree. Part of the reason they carried on patching it is 505 Games kind of kicked them and went, please keep patching the game, please. Incidentally, by the way, I've just added another 90 megawatts of discharge power, and it's making no difference at all. We are still not below power, but we're utilizing stuff off the sphere.
Might be because they are allistic and they don't have their special interest as their profession.
Ooh, sorry. The people worried that I'd stop working on the game.
Yeah, but they are the kind of people that if they have all the resources in the world, then they would not be interested in anything.
Which people, sorry?
The Chinese developers.
Well, they might be. I don't know. I don't know anything about them. So, they might absolutely be like, cool, we're done, screw this, or I want to continue working on this because it's what I love. And if they did say, you know what, we're not doing this anymore, I honestly tip my hat to them. I think they've done incredibly well, and I think, obviously no one should force them to develop a game they don't want to. But they have it's a bit like Star Citizen, they have no commercial pressure to develop anything they don't want to. They can just do what they want, and that's amazing. And does not happen very often in computer games these days. The pie is spread very thin these days, and Blizzard, Activision get a lot of it. I mean, certainly after this research, we should then be able to make universe matrices. Or matrices. Matrices. Hey, it's Mia.
Hey.
Sorry you can't play with us. Get proper internet.
It's not the internet, it's the distance. You mean live in a proper location?
Shao can get on. Just saying.
He doesn't live on a third of the way around the world.
That was basically. Actually, I have no idea how far.
He's maybe an 8.
I'm going to assume that Shauka lives in Helsinki, and I assume that I live in London. I don't want to know how much it costs. I want to know how far it is. Okay, distance. I've got to have a distance.
I'm going to guess 3,000 miles.
1,100 miles, basically, yeah.
Fucking hell.
That's not very far. Hey, Shauka.
Well, we're like 6,000.
After this stream, Shauka, I'm going to go and shout out my window. I want you to see if you can hear me.
Okay, I wouldn't hold my breath on that.
Well, I think you'll basically be able to, because, it's so close. I'm curious where the white one's going to appear, by the way, because I'm pretty sure that this thing has never changed, but I guess I'll find that in another 32 cubes. can I craft graviton cubes lenses? I cannot. I don't have any diamonds on me. Five, 14, 13, 12. Man, stop producing. Come on, drone. I guess we're. Are we backed up with solar cells at the other end? I guess we must be. So, are we backed up with quantum ships too? I'm going to check before we go, because over there we're making quantum chips. For some reason we have 50 drones, and none of them are going to get chips.
I see 0 drones.
Well, there's 50. No, it's because there's only 2 quantum chips in storage. That's why. Yes, because we're not making quantum chips anywhere near quickly, not even slightly close, because we don't have anywhere near enough plane filters. Because we don't have enough.
Do have quite a lot of flame filters. There's some issue with this setup. We don't have the yellow chips.
Ah, that's Henry's fault. Well, I've actually got 400 on me. Wait, hold on, they're not. Yeah, but these do. Oh, where are the plane? We don't have any.
Some also.
There are no plane filters here.
There's multiple blocks of. Oh,
They're all
why is-
gone. We use them all.
There's probably new generated on Golden Waterfall.
Yeah, this is occasionally where the scale of things. Because obviously Sharko's been off on other planet doing stuff, and we have continued to scale things up. You come back going, hey, I've got loads of. Oh, well, this isn't a lot anymore, is it? Oh man. So yeah, we're all scaling up constantly. Well, oh cool, I've got a little thingy. I am just going to head across then and have a look at the white spheres, and then that is going to be it for this evening. So, you know, don't start any big projects. Wow, we have a lot of diamonds. Oh, they're not these for, but not that. Oh, these are graviton spheres. Graviton lenses. Oh, right, okay, there we go. Blip. And now, oh, it needs fucking antimatter. Where do we make that shit? Is it in a particle collider?
Yep.
Well, thankfully, that won't be too hard, but that'd be a good thing to do next time, because obviously we have a lot of what's it called? A lot of Dyson Sphere, and it's looking brilliant. But yeah, when we can actually update our save to the next patch, we can make each letter look different. Can't colour it, sadly, but fantastic little algorithm just moving along. I love the way it fills it in and generates it.
The counters count higher than 720 items a minute. Or is that just what I'm up to?
I think that's the fastest belt. So, just very quickly on the next patch, they've introduced 2 things. One is called an accelerator applicator, and it's awful because they've introduced a completely new paradigm. So what you do is you run the accelerant like one long belt all the way through your base, and it goes at 90 degrees, 1 block in the air above your conveyor belt, and it's like, you haven't used this paradigm anywhere. Why are you suddenly doing it? And the other one was a piler, and I'm not really sure because I haven't bothered using it, but it looks like you can stack 2 objects on top of each other on a conveyor belt. And again, it's an odd paradigm that hasn't been used anywhere else. So they are. I'm not sure that's a good idea. Electricity. I can't.
Has to start somewhere.
I can't tell because someone's just signed in. 30 hours.
And I think I do the triple conveyor lines. So they so players are doing that, and we have to counteract it somehow. So make a machine that packages dirt, more dense, so that players don't do triple lines but do single lines that are packed.
Yes. Yes. Awesome. Well, we will continue this. What's the schedule say? Possibly tomorrow. So we're playing Witch It on Monday. Not sure about Tuesday. Possibly we're playing it tomorrow. We'll see. I'll see how people feel during the day because we've kind of umming and ahhing about SnowRunner and Witch It and this, but I'm still enjoying this a lot. And we are beginning to get to the point where I think we're getting I feel a bit more stable than I did at the beginning of this stream, where we were definitely having some more issues. Oh, Blue Trustee, I had to idle the game for about 6 hours today because we were getting an error, and I wanted to make sure the error wasn't repeating. So you can knock about 6 hours of that off as doesn't really count. Oh, can you repeat the piling? Ah. Yeah, the proliferator was all right. It was just, it's weird. I will just, to say, I will just super quickly show you guys who have that what I mean. So you have your conveyor belt running there with your product running along it, and then you have the proliferator, which for the sake of this discussion, I will. Oh, actually no, I can just do it with a make it lower that. But then the proliferator is your. Click. There we go. So your proliferator is that. So what you do is you run your accelerant down here, and then up in the air, and then across the top of it, and then down again. So it goes in and along, and then down again. And it's really odd. So they're expecting you. It's designed so you have one long accelerant belt throughout your whole level, because it's a through, not an in. It's just very odd.
Maybe they're supposed to be in parallel rather than having just one.
You can just do well, maybe. But the point is, it's a through system, so it's not an in. It's a hole. It's a tunnel, and it takes accelerant off the through tunnel. It doesn't. It's really poor. It's very difficult to use. I'm just really bemused at the design choice. I didn't realise the piler could stack stuff up 4 high, but I mean, is there anywhere we would use that right now?
I'm doing some of the triple lines.
Okay, so I guess we're just not doing it on Dora. Again, as we move through, I'm hoping at some point we can get rid of all of the chemical plants to do with organic crystals, and pull organic crystals in from space. And that saves us a lot of crude oil, or we have to start shipping an awful lot of crude oil to this planet. Just, a thing that would be a pain. But that's it for tonight. I said we'll be back tomorrow with definitely something. Sunday is Wreckfest, so with that one I think we're limited to 24 players, so the more the merrier. And Thursday nights is Live for Speed. Though I won't be here this Thursday. I'm in Blackpool again. For those of you who missed last night, it's worth running last night's stream back and finding the bit where we played in the Flintstones mobiles, because the motion rig does not get on very well with
no suspension.
Vehicles with no suspension. I'm not saying pain, but it was certainly. I know how my socks feel in the tumble dryer. I think is probably the best way of describing it. Quite an experience. Anyway, I've stacked up a lot of these now, so I'm actually going to slow down, just quick before I finish what's in my brain, the incoming belt of oh shit, what are they called? I'm going to call them acorns crystals. So I'm going to put a purpose slow ass belt there and a long logistics run. So that should hopefully give massive priority to the other bits. So that's going to hopefully back up. So that means we're reducing our use of petroleum products, and I don't know how many. Can you remember, Chuck, where that is, by the way, so I can have a look? Where are the acorns coming from?
They are coming from Golden Waterfall.
Where on Golden Waterfall?
On the water world, well, it's next to the gas giants.
Ah, I just saw a spaceship leaving. Let's look. Yeah, I guess. Oh. Okay, yeah, so I'm just checking. Oh, it has infinite organic crystals, does it?
I think there's only 1 million.
It has just dash listed, so that's annoying. Cool. Well, next time we're going to be going for this one, but the next step is, I guess, controlled annihilation reaction, which I can do now actually. Which gives us access to something and something else. Oh wait, I don't need that. I just need the plus negative. We'll do it next time. I'll log out here. We will do the wavy face, and we will be back soon. And I'll make sure I save it as. What's this? Our 5th stream of this. Game saved successfully.